One of the top tips, make sure that you reset your chip using a red setter before you do any refilling. That way when you put it into the red setter you won't squeeze the ends outside of the cartridge and then force ink out into the red setter, which you definitely don't want to be doing all over your table. Okay, so reset it first, then refill. Okay, very quick rundown of refilling a 551 cartridge using the top fill method. So I'm not going to talk as much in this, I'm just going to run through it very quickly by doing it. So excise the fill hole ball to remove the label. Try to avoid stabbing yourself, as I nearly did just then. Sharper the blade, the better you'll be. And somebody unfortunately has used my Stanley knife. Okay, so ball is now exposed. Push. Yeah, you see, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do sometimes. Right. Get a good purchase on the ball and then lever it out like that. Okay, so that's that out. Now make sure your clip is on. Stick your squeezy fill bottle in and start to do your initial fill. Don't rush, don't press too hard, because when it suddenly crests like that you really don't want it going everywhere. Okay, that is now full for the initial fill. We now allow the sponge here to absorb as much as it wants of the ink in the sponge's compartment. So I'm going to be back in about 2 minutes. Okay, this has had a chance to absorb into the sponge, so we're just going to top up. Yep, that's now pretty much done. So like we've done there, we've wiped the top of the cartridge and we now plug the fill hole with our silicone bung. Give it another quick wipe. And then finally we place our filled cartridge next to any others that we've got, so that they have a chance to balance out. And by balance out I mean so that they basically can stabilise the ink contents within the sponge, so that the area above the sponge isn't overly saturated and going to cause an overflow out of the cartridge when you try to install it. Okay, so there you go, that's 2 cartridges we've got going. One of those has been there for about 15-20 minutes already. We've had no ink drops from it, so it may even need a little bit of a top up. It's entirely up to you how you do it, whether or not you want to put a bit more in or not. But once it's done, you can then stick it into whichever kind of storage clip you have and you're good to go. The other benefit to sticking cartridge over these is that you get a chance to see whether or not you've put your fill plug in properly. If you get ink dripping out constantly, then this has an air leak and you need to resolve that. Okay, so that's it. Top fill method for filling a CLI-551, 251, 270, 570, etc. Okay, so that's the whole process. If you want to be 100% sure as to whether or not your cartridge is full, you can use a set of scales. As long as you know the full weight for a cartridge and the clip, obviously you can stick it on and then measure it just to see exactly how much weight there is in there.